Hello. Top of the morning, top of the everything to you. How are we? How are we all doing? We're playing a game of microphone roulette today because I've got two mics, this one, and one of them's got no battery. So we've got to keep an eye on if this one needs charging. I've been on holiday. For those who tuned in last week, you'll know that I went on holiday, got home last night, and I've just got to show everyone this birthday card. I've got a friend. So my friend is having a White Lotus party, and on video, I'm showing you here this card. It says, "These gays are trying to murder me on my birthday," and it's what's her name on the. Oh my god, why can't I remember her name? Anyway, I'm going as Armand, so I've had a little Armand badge made, and I've had Armand is the one with the moustache who has the crazy sex, and then I've got a White Lotus badge. I'm showing people on video here. And I've got a linen suit. So that's my outfit. Anyway, I got home from holiday yesterday, and William has already unpacked because that's the man that he is. He has to unpack as soon as he gets through the door, which is not something I'll ever understand. Sorry, I'm carrying you with me because we've got to go over to my office, haven't we? But I can't find the key. I've had a survey around this morning. Had a survey around 8 a.m. Quite punchy, I thought. Very nice man, keen gardener. So we had a lovely chat about the garden. And he said to me a very fascinating thing. If you want your house valued, right, which my house is being valued for the mortgage. He said, you want to do it when the tulips are out. And look what's out. My tulips. Isn't that funny? That's not why I did it. But look at the tulips. Should we have a tour of the tulips? Look at these. Tall white ones, and then red and white ones that look a bit like cabbage. They are going absolute gangbusters. And this is a salvia back behind it growing. It's all coming together. And then here, this bed, this is a flower bed that has box hedging in it, right? And these were all dying, these little plants. And then what we did is we swapped the soil for better soil. And now they're growing again, which is a lovely thing to see. So it's all coming together very nicely. But to come back to, it sort of feels like it was warm the entire time I was away, but now it's cold again. Would I be right in saying that? So a little chilly, but I've got shorts on because I'm still in holiday brain. I was in Morocco and it was lovely and warm. Just resting you there. Sorry, for those on video, slightly chaotic. I pressed cut by mistake because that's the kind of podcaster I am. Now I've got to do returns today. Nobody let me forget. I've got to return t-shirts that I bought that are too small, and I've got to return something else. What was it? It was another t-shirt. And so I've got to sort all of that. It's my daughter's 4th birthday this week, so we are doing a mermaid party for her. As you can imagine, as a gay dad, this is my milieu. So I've been looking at things for mermaid parties. It's hard not to go full crazy. I'm trying to keep it classy, if you know what I mean. Like suddenly there's cups with mermaids on, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what's the sustainable version of this? So that's what I've been doing. A little bit of research into that. Now, what I want to do is we're going to look at comments from last week's episode. Is Pride a celebration? Right, now, this got some traction. Should Pride this year be a celebration or a protest? Well, a lot of you wrote in your thoughts. One of the things that Danny St. James, so Danny St. James was co-host last week. She has notaphase.org, who is the most amazing trans charity that we're supporting this season. Danny founded it, and she was talking about how this year, normally by this time of year, she would have had all the sort of usual inquiries about sponsoring her for Pride, her organization for Pride and things, and none of that's been happening. And so many people wrote in, "This is so disappointing," said Lottie Jeffs. Lottie Jeffs, who has been on this very podcast actually. "Pride will survive," said Evan. At Sparkle Charity, "It's been a very difficult year for finances and for corporate contributions. However, there are some amazing organisations that we worked with, and we ensure that whilst remaining grassroots and unfunded and unpaid staff, that we managed to balance the community need versus corporate input and volunteering." That was the thing that we spoke about a lot, actually. "My one wish is that all of the prides have an easy season, but I have a feeling it's not going to be that way." Big Bad Bet said, "What the fuck is with this world? Pride is pride, it will survive," says James. Christopher said, "You're a light in this community." And I very much agree. "Couldn't agree more with every single word," says Ramified. Alexandro says, "Hear me out, but we don't need companies to just join for a month of the year. We need them to come together for the rest of the years, to be allies, not profit from our queerness. Pride is a protest we can pull together and bring pride back." Yes, Alexandro. And that is the thing that we talked about in the episode, because Danny is very pragmatic about how you do need these brands to come on board for just that month. Obviously, she would prefer more, but she was saying when you are trying to run a company, not a company, well, it's a company, a charity, you really rely on that month. And of course, there could be better, but at the same time, she will take the interest for 1 month if it means that she can keep Not a Phase going, one. And two, I think also that I always come down on the side of, I completely agree with what you're saying, Alexandro. However, you could say the same about this podcast. It's like, how do we do some good? How do we try and cut through the amount of negativity for trans people, the amount of negativity for queer people, full stop? We're probably going to have things offered to us on less than perfect terms. However, as a result, Not a Phase, and I hope Homo Sapiens does do great things. Is that worth it? Is it worth taking things on less than perfect terms in order to do some good? I have always come down on the yes. And I think each case it needs to be examined for its own merits, but that's where I land, because I suppose and I know nothing, Alexandra, of what you do with your life, etc. But when you run something like Not a Phase or Homo Sapiens, it's really important that everybody gets paid, and it's really important that you continue to try and do what you can for the community who follow you. So it's a tricky situation. That's all I'll say. Harper Cole said, "We are feeling it in our core before we ever hear anything, before any action we know." Michael Truman said, "I've personally seen regional prides shutting down. I'm sure that some corporates will back us through Pride 26. This is definitely a sign of the times, though, but not necessarily a sign of things to come." Thank you, Michael. Good to get rid of the corporate companies and make it go back to what it was before, a protest. I think you can do a bit of everything. That was Alfie who wrote that. I think you can have a protest element, you can have a celebration element. Don't be shy of either. And someone wrote actually about UK Trans Pride and sort of citing that as an example. And I think that is such a good thing. And actually, I weirdly was thinking about it in bed the other day in light of this conversation. It's like, UK Trans Pride has anyone ever been? If you have, write in and tell us more about your experiences there. But it is such a electric feel of a protest, but also feel of a celebration, and a feeling of fearlessness and people coming together and feeling the beauty of being together in ways that you all understand each other is really magic. And I'm saying that I have not been, but I have watched endless videos. I'm always away. Hopefully I won't be away this year. I can't actually remember the date. But anyway, let's look it up. UK Trans Pride on the July the 25th. So I'm not here. However, it's also Homo sapiens' birthday, 9th birthday. Who knew? Anyway, so yet again, I'm away, but what I will say to you is it's a very special event and y'all should go down. Now, Angel says, if you turn a protest into a business, no less a model that relies on corporate sponsorship than its existence relies entirely on profitability and how much brand PR capitalist entities gain. They aren't and never were donating money, they're buying our approval. I urge everyone to self-organise and remember our roots. Angel, and then Imi says, so disappointed for you. This is to Danny because she was saying she's not got the same amount of interest. And unfortunately, the experience resonates for We Are Queer Health. Companies just aren't opening their wallets this year as they have done previously. Ooh, We Are Queer Health. Let's follow them. They look interesting. A non-profit summit and gala for equity, empathy, and change. Oh, cool. So give them a follow. We Are Queer Health on Instagram. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I think it's a very good point. They are buying our approval and our cachet, let's say. But I'm still going to come down on let's all remember what can be done with that money, and we can work in steps to get to a better place. That's my dream, is all I'll say. Media Mum said, Danny St. James, is a perfect balance of fun and thoughtful. Yes, she really is. That's what I love about Danny, is I always have a laugh with her, but she always makes me think, and those are my favourite people. Heather says, that's why I don't do the big corporate prides. Give me a proper march, community spirit, and a proper protest instead. Yep. Heather, I hear you. What else have we got to catch up on? Thank you to everybody who is writing in and nominating themselves or people for gender affirming underwear. It's all in hand. Saturday, the 30th of May, which is 2 days after my birthday, you don't have to bring presents. You don't have to bring presents. Saturday, 30th of May. It is the Homo sapiens dog walk. It is at Regent's Park in London, exactly the same place as last time, same time, 1 p.m. Regent's Bar and Kitchen is where we meet. If you go to the Instagram, click on the Eventbrite link in bio. Just register your interest so we know how many people are coming. You do not need a dog. Please bring a friend. You also can just turn up. It's totally fine. I am so excited to hang out again. Ridley will be making an appearance, Ridley being my dog. This Thursday, 2 days' time, James Greenwood's back on the pod, co-hosting with me. We're having a gas about life. James is the vet from BBC Morning Live. You know that probably by now. In the meantime, listeners, have a lovely Tuesday. And write in hello@homosapienspodcast.com, at homosapiens on Instagram. Please subscribe on the YouTube platform. We would love some more subscribers. 540 of you have already subscribed. We are very grateful. Now then, have a good day and sending you all loads of love. Bye for now.